When we think of being financially responsible, budgeting and having a savings account are often the first things that come to mind. But while these are certainly important indicators of good financial habits, there's actually a lot more to it than just that. So today we're going to look at some other signs that also indicate that you're handling your finances well. The first sign is that you know how to strike a balance between spending and saving. Some people don't know how to do this, so they might either struggle with delayed gratification or they might only focus on saving and feel guilty when spending money on themselves. And of course, neither of these ways are healthy because obviously, if a person has issues with self control, there's the risk of overspending or getting into debt. And on the flip side of that, if you have someone who's constantly depriving themselves, that can take all the enjoyment out of life. So if you fall somewhere in the middle, meaning that you're taking care of your current financial obligations, you're budgeting and enjoying some discretionary spending in moderation, and you're also setting aside money for the future, you're doing pretty good, even if what you're setting aside isn't a lot at the moment. And being balanced is really the best of both worlds because you're able to take control of your money while also enjoying the present moment. Another sign is that you're able to adapt to changes in your financial situation. Financially speaking, life can be very unpredictable. And even if you don't go through something like a job loss, most of us will feel the effects of inflation or our expenses might increase. And when these types of things happen, it is so important to be adaptable and proactive because that can really be the difference between keeping your head above water or experiencing a severe hardship. So the fact that you are willing to adjust your spending habits accordingly when things start to go south, that is a key sign of being adaptable and you're demonstrating good financial flexibility. And to give a real life example, let's say things were already tight financially and then your biggest expense, which is rent, increases. However, once you run the numbers, you realize that it doesn't make sense to move because prices are going up everywhere. In this scenario, being adaptable means that you're not going to keep your spending at the same level as before and risk not being able to pay your rent. Instead, you're going to revisit your budget, reduce extra spending where you can, maybe negotiate with your landlord, and if need be, increase your income to make up the difference. Another sign is that you think carefully before making purchases and you avoid impulse buying. A lot of people don't have a little voice in their head telling them that a purchase is unwise, or they choose to ignore that voice. If they see something they like, they have to buy it, even though it might make it harder for them to pay important bills or it might result in long-term credit card debt. But if you actually pause before making an impulse purchase and think about the consequences, you're doing something that a lot of people don't do. And as a result, you probably have more cash and savings and less debt. And this isn't to say that you won't slip up from time to time, because nobody's perfect. But if 8 or 9 times out of 10 you're willing to delay instant gratification, you're doing better than a lot of people. Another sign is that you're comfortable asking questions and or discussing money with a partner. Money can be a complex and confusing topic, but asking questions is a sign of financial health because it indicates that you are actively seeking to understand how money works, how to manage it effectively, and how to make it work for you. If you don't understand a financial concept, you can never go wrong by asking questions or getting clarification. And I honestly feel that not speaking up or asking questions is how a lot of people get themselves into trouble. Maybe you had a friend or relative who was good with money and you asked them for their advice, which helped you avoid making some costly mistakes. In addition, when you feel comfortable discussing money with a partner, this shows that you're both committed to working together and making financial decisions as a team, which can lead to a greater sense of stability. Another sign that you're doing good with money is that you're not afraid to say no. And this is an important aspect of good financial health because it demonstrates a sense of financial discipline, control, and having a clear understanding of your priorities. This means that you are comfortable setting boundaries and saying no to things that don't align with your financial goals. And this can include saying no to expensive outings or other activities that don't fit within your budget, or it can be saying no to a salesperson who's trying to sell you products that you don't need. Another sign that you're doing good is that you're not influenced by lifestyle inflation. When some people get a raise or promotion, before the money even hits their first check, they start coming up with a plan for how to spend it. And sometimes this can include upgrading their car, moving into a bigger house, or they might even start to spend more on entertainment and eating out. And this isn't because they need reliable transportation or better accommodations. They're upgrading their lifestyle just because they can, and this has become their pattern over the years. But while it's natural to want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, lifestyle inflation can be a slippery slope that can lead to overspending and financial stress. So, if you're able to maintain a consistent standard of living and you focus on saving and investing the extra money, that's another sign of good financial health because it demonstrates a conscious effort to maintain a sustainable and balanced approach to personal finance. Another sign is that you are financially literate beyond the basics. Knowing the basics of money is a good starting point, which includes knowing how to budget, how to track your spending, and how to manage debt. And I commend anyone who does this. But as we know, personal finance is so much more complex than that. So I always encourage people to go beyond the basics and also learn about investing, interest rates, retirement options. And I'm not saying that people need to be a pro in these areas, but these are topics that will eventually affect most of our lives. And the more we know, the easier it is to make informed decisions. So if you have an understanding of the deeper topics, that means you're ahead of the curve and you're likely able to navigate these subject areas with confidence. Another sign is that you have a credit card debt repayment plan in place. Now, you don't have to be completely credit card debt free to have a good relationship with money. Now, ideally, yes, you should pay off your credit card balances in full each month. But if you're currently carrying your balances, the fact that you have a plan in place to get rid of them indicates that you're on the right path. Some people give up when they're drowning in credit card debt because they're overwhelmed by the balances and they feel as if their situation is hopeless. But taking a passive approach when it comes to credit card debt, which can include not opening statements or hiding from creditors, only makes the situation worse. However, even if your balances are overwhelming you and things are not great, the fact that you have a repayment plan in place means that one, you're not in denial, and two, you're being proactive and committed to improving your finances, which are both signs of good financial health. Another sign that you're doing better than you give yourself credit for is that you know how to prioritize expenses based on importance. This means that you prioritize spending on things that are essential, such as food, housing, utilities, and healthcare, before setting funds aside for discretionary expenses like entertainment, travel, or eating out. This helps you make informed decisions about where to allocate your money, and it ensures that you're using your financial resources in the most effective way possible. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also subscribe if you like personal finance and you want to see more videos like this. I typically post every weekend, so thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.